yeah, we're gonna come up to our feet actually, and so it's going to be quite a lot of work on the feet today. So I'd like you to come into standing. I'm going to leave the door open. I think it helps the acoustic a little bit in this room. So just to say that this class, I was just talking to Mark about this, but I do occasionally go to sessions. Well, in this case, a friend of ours came up and taught a weekend, so I went to a couple of his yoga classes. So it's been a bit inspired by his class. And it's a flow class. So I wanted to do it before our retreat, but in the end, I kind of did it during the retreat. And now we're going to do it, the original plan. I need to have at hand. I'd like you to come to standing, and we're going to base the sequence quite a bit on sun salutation. So I will do a sun salutation, but if you want to do another one, that's fine as well. Okay. So I'm going to suggest we start with the feet hip width, and at the front edge of your mat, and then growing your spine, engaging your arms down by your side. You close the eyes for a few moments. So yeah, just one thing, a couple of things to say about this, like, you know, yoga, posture work. One of the things that you can play with as a teacher is what we could call the tempo. You know, it's a kind of musical image, but yeah, you can go faster or slower, different kind of rhythm, if you like. I'm sure tempo and rhythm are different, but a different pulse, if you like. So I'm going to slow this down a little bit, but potentially this could be quite a fast flowing sequence. So we're going to exhale, bring the palms together, open the eyes. I'm just checking in with yourself before we get into the practice. Checking in with a sense of your energy, your mood. And being gentle, whatever you're going to do, being gentle. Working with sort of respectful limits to your capacity, to your strength that's available right now. Because we inhale, we're going to take the arms up and look up. As we exhale, folding into the legs, bending the knees slightly. Inhale, step the right leg back into the low lunge. Breathe there for a moment. Come down onto the palms, step your left leg back. And then we're going to drop through 8-point pose. So we're just briefly coming through 8-point pose into a low Shalabhasana. Exhale, releasing out. Inhale or pause, and exhale, dog pose. Lengthening from the hands through the sides of the body towards the sitting bones. Playing off this lengthening through the spine with dropping the heels. As we know, if we drop the heels too strongly, it inevitably retroverts the pelvis, pulls the pelvis, rolls the pelvis backwards. So we're trying to lift the sitting bones. Inhale, right foot forwards, high lunge. Exhale, inhale, left foot forwards. Exhale into your legs. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. And exhale, sweeping the arms down again into the fold. Inhale, left foot goes back into the low lunge. It can be on the palms. Just something Sadhata pointed out on the retreat, actually coming onto the fingertips can be quite heavy loading for the fingers. So to be safer, you could ground the palms there. Okay, coming into all fours. Dropping through 8-point pose. Bhujangasana. Lifting through the front of the body, exhale. Back into dog pose. Lengthening through the sides of the body. Grounding your palms. Remembering this detail. It seems like yesterday, Mark, that you were in our classes, but 4 years, it's been 4 years. But anyway, so remembering this detail about lining up the ears with the upper arms, facilitates lengthening through the neck. So we're going to take the high lunge with the left foot forwards. Exhale, inhale. Right foot forwards. Exhale, folding into your legs. Inhale, floating the arms up, and we'll go straight into the other side. Exhale, folding into your legs. Inhale, right leg to the low lunge. Exhale, inhale, forwards, and dropping through 8-point pose into Bodhiyoga. Exhale down, or forwards, dog pose. Breathing, connecting with a sense of lengthening through the waist area, sides of the body, length through the neck. High lunge of the right foot comes forward. Exhale, inhale, left foot. Exhale into the legs, floating the arms up. And floating the arms down into the fold. Inhale, left foot, low lunge, grounding the palms for a moment. Exhale, right foot back and drop through 8-point pose on your own breath. Low back bend, release down. Dog pose. As you're looking for broadness across the upper back, so one way of getting that is to take your awareness into the shoulders, roll the upper arms outwards, very slightly externally rotating. High lunge on the left thigh. Exhale, inhale, right foot in, folding into your legs. Inhale, arms come up, and we'll go straight into the fold. Exhale. Inhale, right foot back, low lunge. Exhale, all fours and through 8-point pose, Bodhiyoga. Release. All fours into dog pose. Step your right foot forwards, high lunge. Long waist, inhale, left foot forwards, exhale into your legs. Inhale, float the arms up. Last cycle, folding into your legs. Inhale, left foot goes back, low lunge. Grounding the palms or fours. And through 8-point pose, keeping the elbows in. Still keeping the elbows in with the Bodhiyoga, release down. And back into dog pose. Checking the distance between the feet, hip width. High lunge with your left foot. Inhale, right foot comes forwards. Folding into your legs. Inhale, floating the arms up. Exhale, floating forwards once again. I like to take hold of your big toes with the first finger and middle finger, if you can. Otherwise, taking the hands to the outer shins. And move your feet a little bit wider. Okay. On an inhale, bend the knees and lengthen through the front of the body, arms long. On the exhale, folding towards your legs, taking the elbows wide. Bring the legs to a straight as your body will permit without forcing. Again, sense of broad cross
Tops of the shoulders, connecting with the breath, exploring straightening the legs. So lengthening through the upper body, engaging the legs. Exhale, release the hands. On an inhale, I want you to float the arms up into Utkatasana. Begin to gaze forwards, the knees tracking in line with the feet. It's a strong pose, this one. Chair pose, seated, down. Just going to make the legs, thighs work. Exhale, release forward once again. And now we're going to see if we can bring the palm underneath the feet. Right up to the wrist. So you bring the toes right up to the wrist. You may need to bend your knees to do that. There's a sense of grounding your weight through the back of the hand. And again, we'll tip the pelvis, lift the gaze, should I say, let the pelvis drop back, bend the knees. And then exhale, fold into the legs. Again, exploring, straightening the legs, but letting the upper body release out over the tops of the legs. So we're not forcing the upper body. So we're looking to work with the elasticity or the openness that we have in the backs of the legs rather than trying to force something to happen. So the back of the legs does lengthen out quite quickly with regular work there. Exhale, release the fingertips, or the hands, should I say. Inhale back into Utkatasana. Floating the arms up, sitting into your chair pose. Gaze towards the horizon. See if we can deepen the chair pose, so sinking a little bit more. Exhale, this time coming up, hands dropping onto your hips, winging the elbows out. So I'm going to step my left foot back, medium distance, and walk my right foot forwards. As I inhale, bend the front leg to bring the knee over the ankle. As I exhale, straighten the front leg. So we'll just do this a couple of times. Inhale, bend the front leg to line up, knee over ankle. Keeping the back leg working. Okay, next time we come down, coming into the lunge position. So the left heel down. Extend your arms forwards. You're projecting out through both arms. Palms together, and then take the arms up. So if that doesn't work for you, you could take the arms into the cactus position. Otherwise, taking the arms up. So I've been getting into crossing the thumbs to help with the sense of pulling out through the arms here. Breathing. Back leg engaging. And then we're going to convert this pose into warrior two. So I want you to take your right arm down, left arm back, and then turn out to look out over the long edge of your mat, the left side, and then bending the front leg, looking along your right arm, left hand facing the ceiling. This is warrior two. Breathing there. Sense of still the spine long, back leg working, very open pose. The gaze out along the front arm. Might help to have a slightly narrower base, so I like to bring my right foot more into the center line of the mat, center line of the pose. Okay, from here we're going to look down and release back to dog pose. Carefully opening both sides of the body. Inhale into all fours. Exhale, 8-point pose, elbows in. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, release down. Dog pose. Both sides of the body long, and we're going to walk now, both feet forwards, folding into your legs. Inhale, floating the arms up. Exhale, landing the hands to the hips. Right foot goes back, medium distance. So just play with the alignment here. So first of all, bringing the left knee over the ankle. Exhaling, straightening. Inhaling, bending. Remembering that the hips are coming forwards here. The back leg ideally is coming to straight. Yes, you will notice it not wanting to do that. Just encouraging the right leg to go straight. Okay, coming down into preparation for warrior one. So we're going to project the arms forwards, cross the thumbs. So cross thumbs, projecting through the arms. So take the shoulders down as we take the arms up. That doesn't work for you with the shoulders and the arms, and go into the cactus position. Extending up the gaze slightly up. With the distance. If you've got more elasticity across the pelvis, you can walk your left foot forwards or slide the left foot forwards. Encouraging the back leg to straighten. These poses are quite, well, at least here, quite heat producing. Okay, so we're going to drop the left arm forwards, right arm back, palm facing the ceiling, rolling the right hip back as well, right leg. And then you can readjust your base. So as I said, I like to bring my left foot more into the center line. You can then drop down into the space between the feet, looking out along the left arm, shoulders down, breathing now. Because you're going to look to the left. Carefully revolve round into dog pose, grounding the palm. Okay. Lengthening through both sides of the body, head in line with the upper arm. Inhale into all fours. Exhale, 8-point pose, sense of elbows in. Bhujangasana. Tops of the feet grounded. Release out. Dog pose. Okay, we're going to have a go at warrior 3. So I want you to bring your right foot about midway down your mat. And then draw your fingertips back to they're like 3/4, I guess. And then bending your right leg out a little bit. So we're going to float the left leg up. Come onto the tips of the fingers if you can. So you really, it really loads your right hip. This is true. So if that feels okay for you, you could extend your right arm along by your side and your left arm. So we're pulling away from the floor, the upper body. Projecting through the arms, the left leg. If you've got that, okay, you can extend your arms forwards. More tricky pose. If that's too much, fingertips to the floor. Concentrate on keeping that back leg. When you're ready, grounding the palms, step back, dog pose. Sure, we could spend longer there. So we're going to go around this little vinyasa, so knees to the floor, dropping the chest, opening into Bhujangasana,
Dog pose. So the left foot comes about to the middle of the mat, the hands draw back, float the right leg up. Supporting now your weight on your left hip. See if you can bring the arms back in line with the body, lift the body away from the floor. Really grounding through your standing leg. Just lifting away from the floor. Exploring extending the arms forwards. Not so easy. If not, bringing the fingertips to the floor. Projecting through that back leg. When you're ready, coming down, grounding palms, dog pose. Moving through the vinyasa, inhale all fours. Exhale. 8-point pose, inhale. Bhujangasana. Exhale back into dog pose. So second pose in this line. Again, we're going to bring the right foot about midway. And this time we're going to roll the left hip on top of the right hip. So bring your right hand out to the right. So you've got like a diagonal line between the foot and the hand. And then we're going to roll the left hip on top of the right hip. Half moon pose. Standing through, firmly through the right leg. Breathing there. This is where it does make sense to be on the fingertips. If you've got your balance, take your left arm up. I would suggest looking down to the floor, being gentle with the neck. Standing through both legs, but this time we're rolling the left hip on top of the right hip. Should be a little bit easier in some ways. From there, exhale, dropping back into dog pose, bending the standing leg. Step back gracefully. Moving around the vinyasa, all fours. 8-point pose. Bhujangasana. And release to dog pose, back into dog pose. Take a breath there. Sense of length through the body. You're going to step your left foot about midway, but then move your left hand out to the side. I'm taking it right off the mat, and then I'm floating up. Right hip comes up onto the left, projecting through both legs. Breathing there, and then maybe taking the top arm up. Breathing there. Do you want to engage the thighs? Engage the top arm. In some ways, it's a pose where everything's kind of on, engaged, switched on, active, long toes. Rolling the right hip on top of the left. And from there, bending the left leg to move back into dog pose, yeah. So I've got a little note here saying plank, do lots of planks. So we haven't done that. So we'll do 5 high planks. So inhale, we bring our weight over the hands. Exhale, back into dog pose. So we'll do 5 high planks. Checking that you're lengthening along the body as you come down. So we're not collapsing into the lumbar and letting the pelvis drop too heavily. This will help with doing more chin-ups. It's like building a little bit of tone, strength, really important, especially as we get older, is to keep a sense of tone and strength in the body. So come into high plank for a while, a few breaths, engaging the arms. long through the spine, take the gaze forwards. Then I'm going to drop to the knees and step your right foot between the hands. So a little pause here. So I would keep the, if you want to protect the knee, you might want to put a padding under your left knee. We're going to come up for a moment. Bring both hands onto the right knee. Extend your left arm up. And then I'd like you to try and hook the left elbow across your right thigh. So left elbow across the right thigh. Bring the palms together. So actually it might be easier on the knee to straighten the back leg, to be honest. So if you want to do that, straightening the back leg. Coming into Paravrita, Prajvakonasana. Sense of length along the spine to the crown. Length from the back heel to the crown. Breathing there. Obviously the breath gets a bit more intense with this kind of work. So dropping the left knee down, carefully palms to the floor, step back into all fours. And then the left foot comes between the hands. Come up for a moment. And hands on the front thigh, left thigh, right arm goes up, floating up there. So you're lengthening from the right knee to the right hand and then hook across. If you can, palms together, using that pressure between the hands to lift the back knee, open the chest, lengthen through the spine. Breathe there. Long from your right heel to the crown. Feeling the breath. From there, dropping the back knee, carefully grounding the palms. Taking the left leg back, up into dog pose. And we'll do 5 more planks, okay, high planks. So on the inhale, coming into high plank. On the exhale, moving back. On your own breath. Obviously, if you've got issues in the wrists, you could do this from the forearm, like a dolphin. So coming into the high plank, holding there for a few breaths, remembering to include the neck, extending the neck, along with the rest of the spine. Arms straight, load bearing into the arms. Breathing there. When you're ready, we're going to drop down, knees to the floor. Come through 8-point pose, elbows in, Bhujangasana. Exhale back into dog pose. I'm going to come into the last standing pose. So again, bring your right foot about midway down your mat. You can bring your left foot into match. Draw your fingertips back. And then I want you to, you could ground the left hand, but I'd stay on the fingertips. So left hand stays where it is, but we float the left leg up and then bring the right hand onto the sacrum and turn towards the straight standing leg. Okay, so you're turning towards the straight standing leg. Breathing there, Paravrita Ardha Chandrasana. If you've got sufficient turn in the upper body, you could maybe extend your your right arm up. Breathing there. Both legs coming to straight. Taking a pause. Not holding the breath.
From there, looking down, bending the right leg. Dog pose, grounding the palms. Waist long. To the left. Foot midway down your mat, hands drawing back. So you're bringing weight into that standing leg. Float the standing leg. So float, float the right leg, engage the left leg. And turning now to the left. The left hand to the hip or to the sacrum. Lengthening through the front of the body. Exploring taking the top arm up. Try and keep the body in one long line. Breathing there. I suggest you look down or slightly to the side, to the left. Care with the neck. And when you're ready, palms down. Dog pose. And yeah, let's have a go at this. So we're going to drop to a fourth. Drop down onto the forearms. And then we're going to do 5 dolphins. So the dolphin can be quite a small movement, okay? So you don't have to come down to a full plank. So lifting the hips. So you could just come down a little bit on the inhale. Exhale. Lift back to the forearm. So lengthening from the forearms to the sitting bones. Inhale. Coming close to the floor. Exhale back. Do that 4 or 5 times. Remembering the head, you're not dropping weight into the head in this pose. Okay, then from there, dropping the knees, have just a brief pause into child's pose. Rest the arms forwards, back, between your legs. It's up to you. Breathing there. Reconnecting with the breath, which no doubt has got somewhat more labored. Letting the body breathe. Okay, on an inhale, bending your arms forwards or fours. Exhale, dog pose. And then we're going to do a little, well, it can be like a hop and skip, or it can just be a gentle movement to sitting, and then extend the legs forwards. Coming onto the front edge of the sitting bones. And then we're going to project up through the arms, lengthening up. So you're in like Dandasana. And then as we exhale, release forwards. Bring the hands down towards the shins or the feet. And then release forwards, but not pulling, no pulling. You can engage the legs. Sense of projecting through the legs and allowing the pose to be soft and create length through the back of the body. So in this pose, flexion, we're lengthening the back of the body, backs of the legs, from the crown, all the way down through the back of the body, back of the pelvis, back of the legs, into the soles of the feet. So it might be interesting to explore working with the feet slightly separate, like hip distance, separate. Allowing the pose to penetrate down into the tissues. Penetrate through, move through the tissues. Okay, on an inhale, we're going to float the head up, chest up. Okay, now this is, let's see how we got on with this. This is quite interesting. So I need to bring the soles of the feet to the floor. It's based on boat pose. This can be quite strong. Okay, so try and lengthen through the front of the body. And then we're going to float the feet up and extend the arms along the sides of the body. Breathe there. So explore straining the legs. Long through the legs, long through the arms. Breathe there. And release, crossing the legs and then roll over the tops of the feet, coming back into dog pose. And lengthening through both sides of the waist. Inhale into all fours. Exhale through 8-point pose, bodhiyogainternational on the inhale. Exhale, release down, back into dog pose. Inhale, light hop or skip or whatever is more graceful into this position again. So the feet on the ground, lifting the chest. So we're going to come into a really low bow pose. So we're going to bring the hands around the back of the head, interlaced, and then you're going to lower yourself down and extend the legs. So the back is on the floor. Breathing now, and then release to the floor. Carefully rolling up, round to dog pose. Head in line with the arms. Inhale all fours. Exhale 8-point pose. Inhale bodhiyogainternational. Exhale back into dog pose. Inhale, light hop, skip, jump, whatever. Forwards and then back into the boat pose again. Arms straight, legs extended up. Lifting the gaze. Breathing now. And then see if we can take this pose into the other version. So hands around the back of the head. Lower yourself down. And then release to the floor. Toes of the feet to the floor. Rolling up. Come round into dog pose. We'll just do that one more time. So going from the classical boat to the low boat to the floor. So coming forwards on an inhale. Extend your legs forwards and up. Arms by your side. From here, taking the hands around the back of the head, lowering yourself down. Legs close to the floor and release. Coming into semi-supine. Breathe there for a moment. So this is like quite strong work for the front of the body. So I like to bring the soles of the feet a bit closer towards the buttocks. We did this move quite a bit on the retreat. I'll just go through it again, but the hands down by your side, palms down. So this is more gentle strengthening work. So as you exhale, I want you to pick up your arms and look through your legs. Feet grounded. As you inhale, release to the floor. Exhale, lift into the bridge, just the pelvis. Inhale, the arms above the head. Exhale, pelvis down. Inhale, the arms come back, so it's 6-part bridge. Just go through that again. Exhale, pick up the arms, look through the legs. Inhale, release to the floor. Exhale, lifting into bridge, pelvis only. Inhale, arms above the head.
Exhale, pelvis down, waist long. Inhale, arms back to your side. So we'll just move around that cycle 3 more times on your own breath. We're moving up on the exhale, down on the inhale. Bridge, arms, lowering down on the exhale. Arms back. 2 more times on your own breath. Working round the cycle on your last cycle. No rush, following your breath. Coming back into stillness here. So I'd just like you to watch what I'm going to do here. So I don't often teach shoulder stand in this way, and it's not really a full shoulder stand because we're going to do a movement without bricks. You have to be really careful with your neck. I don't really give this to people that I know, and I know that both of you should be all right with this. So do watch before you. I wouldn't look at the screen when you come up. When you're actually in the pose, you bring the knees to the forehead, and then what we do is we roll the pelvis away from us. So we come into like a halfway between shoulder stand and viparita karana, and extend the legs. Because I'm sure you've done this before. But I'm suggesting we do it without bricks, just so we can have the experience of being upside down, to come down using our arms and abdominal work, okay, to do that. So we'll roll up first onto the tops of the shoulders, knees come towards the forehead. We're in a pose called Pindasana. Elbows in. Try not to be putting any unnecessary stress into the neck. And don't turn the head once you're up on your shoulders. And then we're going to roll the pelvis towards the hands. So your weight is definitely going off the pelvis into the hands. So it can be quite strong on the wrists and then through the elbows into the floor. Keep the neck quite long, and then the legs don't go to the vertical, they go sort of off the vertical. And extend through the legs from us. We'll take, if this is okay, we'll take 20 breaths here. Okay, and Ardha Shavasana. There's a chance just to have a sense of a long waist, legs engaged, but the benefit of the chance of being upside down and supporting your way over really over the upper arms. The neck should feel quite free. I wouldn't turn the head. I mean, you can check that the neck is free, but don't turn the head, even in this position. Okay. You can engage your legs lightly, broadening across the feet, opening the back and the front of the ankles. I have to say, I'm not counting the breaths here. So when you're ready, You bring the knees back to the forehead, release the arms down. You're definitely resisting the movement to the floor through the arms. And come back to semi-supine for a moment. Extending your arms into the T shape and very slowly releasing the head from one side to the other a couple of times. Checking that the neck is okay. Also at the same time, sense of stretching and releasing the neck. Moving from the head from side to side. And then we're going to center the head. I want us to gently prop ourselves up onto the elbows again, looking down to your feet. This is known as Matsyendrasana. It's taught in lots of different ways. Yes, so some people teach it where they take the hands underneath the buttocks, which you can also do. You take the hands round the hips. But the idea is to prop up the chest with the arms. And then you can take the head back if you want, okay? So if you're going to take the head back, it's this trick of sliding the chin forwards and then taking the head back. The head is not going to touch the floor. Okay, so you're releasing the head back, if that's okay, or your neck. If it doesn't feel okay on your neck, keep the head forwards. And I suggest you don't drop weight into the back of the head. Okay, the head is floating away from the floor. You're lifting the chest. Exploring this pose, a sense of opening the chest, front of the throat if your head is going back. Legs slightly engaged. You can point the toes or point the heels or find the balance. And then from there, carefully lifting the head back. And once again, releasing to the floor. Okay, and then we're going to bring both knees towards the chest. And then if you can, you take your right forearm around thigh, or underneath the thigh, should I say, and then take yourself to the right, take the legs to the right, but the body stays centered, so both shoulders down. The gaze can go to the left, coming into a simple supine twist. If that doesn't work with the arm arrangement, take your arm around the legs the other way, on top of the legs. Closing your eyes and reconnecting with your whole body, breath, sense of your mood, sense of your heart, mind. Good, so with an inhale, we're floating the legs one by one up to the center, head to center. Wrapping the left forearm around the back of the legs, if that works for you. Taking the gaze to the right side. Coming into simple twist. Releasing your right shoulder to the floor. Close the eyes, relax. face, release the face, forehead, jaw, tongue. Breathing. Also aware of this quality of change, and reminding ourselves of remembering everything is in a constant process of change, unfolding, transforming, nothing fixed, nothing permanent. When you're ready, we're going to come back to center, one leg at a time. And we're going to release out into Shavasana for a few minutes. But do make sure you're going to be comfortable for that. And I'm going to come into a session of sitting. So I'd like us just to come into Shavasana just for a few minutes. It's kind of like short and sweet, that sequence, but quite strong. I just want to give us some time to integrate the work we've done there. So as we come down to the floor, checking that you're in more or less a straight line, lengthening the back of the neck and the front of the neck, lengthening the waist. This is releasing the arms away from the body, the legs. Going down through the body, just enjoying any sense of connection with the body, with the ground. Same time being aware of any uncomfortable sensation or experience. Embracing that with kindness. Seeing where you can let go, but asking your body, asking your being, where can I let go? Being as conscious as you can of what's happening. Because you're going to bring a bit of, you're welcome to stay where you are. I suggest we move into meditation pose. You can bring your fingertips into a bit of movement into your fingertips, toes. Roll onto your right side for a moment. And from there, we're going to come up into a sitting position using just the minimum amount of gear that you might need. I've taken everything out of this room. I'm going to be down onto the floor, coming into a seated, possibly supported, upright position. Allow you to release down through this pose, sense of being balanced as much as possible. Releasing the shoulders, the arms. And we're going to focus in on the breath for the last few minutes of the session. Allowing the body to be grounded through the base of the pose, through gravity, anchoring your attention through the breath and the body. Listening into the inhale, the exhale. Gently bringing your attention back to the body, to the breath. Being aware of the movements of the mind or the emotions. Just re-clarifying your attention in the body, on the breath, sense of grounding through gravity, through the floor. And from a sense of your own center, being aware of the space around you, the building, or physical space around you, sounds, maybe other people. And then maybe just in your own mind, a sense of turning your attention or your mind towards this quality, which we could call gratitude. We're grateful to the practice, grateful to the fruits of the practice. Opportunity to share and be with others, even if that's through this internet space, cyberspace. Thank you very much. In your own time, feel free to let go of this session and see you in a couple of weeks' time.